Hi, I'm Steve Fitz from Building Boom. I'm the owner and managing director of Building Boom, which is a digital marketing agency for new home builders. My background is in building and construction though. I've been in the industry since 1990. I've done every role there is to do in a building company. So I just want to put this video out today to share with you all the things that I've seen with the builders that I've worked with, both as a builder when I was a builder and then now as a digital marketer for those building companies. What makes a successful construction company? So there's a few ingredients that I think are really key to get right. And if you get these right, you'll go a long way to becoming a success in the building industry. So the first one is have a defined market. So as a builder, I can stand back and say, hey, this builder does everything. He does commercial, he does residential, he does developments. You know, he's a really talented, experienced builder. And that may be true from a builder's perspective when we're looking as builders at other builders. Those guys are talented, they can do everything. But when you're trying to win new business, you don't want to be a builder that does everything for anyone. You want to be a builder that does something very specific for very specific people. So what do I mean by that? Okay. Let's say you choose to be, or let's say you are most profitable when you build $400,000 to $550,000 two-story homes. That's where you get the most profit. That's where you're most comfortable. Those jobs just sing along. You've got all the trade base in place. They work really easily. But if you can build a $500,000 two-story home, you can definitely build a $200,000 single-story home. And you can also build a $1.5 million three-story home. There's not that much difference for a builder. But as a customer looking at building companies, if my budget is $500,000 and I'm after a quality two-story home, I'm going to choose the builder that specializes in that, who has 40 different houses and plans to look at on their website, versus the one guy who says, yeah, I can do that. Here's a couple that I did, as well as a $1.5 million and a $200,000 and a few triplex developments. It doesn't make sense from the client's perspective. So every successful construction company that I've seen over more than 20 years in the industry have a very defined market. So much so that a lot of building companies who get big, they develop different brands for each market segment. That's how you know that this is a great strategy. So if I look at the ABN group as an example, they have Celebration Homes, Home Buyer Centre, which is their first home buyer brand, Celebration Homes, which is their sort of first home buyer creeping into the second home buyer. Then they have Dale Alcock Homes, which is a sort of a luxury single story brand. Then they have Webb and Brown Leaves, which is their upmarket two-story brand. Then they have Pack Construction, which does all their commercial. Then they have Dale Alcock Home Improvements, which does renovations. And each of those businesses markets themselves very, very specifically to that marketplace. And they, you know, like I say, they are actually the most successful building group in the country. So have a defined market. I know as a builder, you're probably thinking, but I can do everything. I don't want to say no to that work because I need the business. In the short term, that business is going to give you a bit of cash flow. In the long term, it's going to damage your brand and it's going to dilute your marketing message and it's going to get you less work going forward. So choose what you want to build, what kind of builder you want to be, where you're going to build, even if it's in a defined suburb or postcode region, and stick to that. Define your market, stick to that, and then work. The next one is these successful construction companies advertise continually. You will not win new business if people don't know about you. Obscurity is the biggest threat to your business. If people don't know about you, you don't have an opportunity to put your best foot forward and win their business. So you want to budget for some advertising. Now, this doesn't need to be huge. Again, if you want to work in a certain pocket, we have builders that just work 3 suburbs and that's it. That's where they want to be. So they say, right, we are permanently advertising on Facebook and Google, targeting those suburbs only. But we are always seen. We want to be known as the builders who build in those suburbs. Now, it doesn't have to be digital. We do digital as an agency, but one of the building companies that I work with, actually in the building company, years ago, they built their brand in the upper market by just buying 3 billboards along a main road. And those 3 billboards served them very well, and they still have them today, because everyone in those suburbs got to see their brand, their building company, and their product that they built every day. Every single day that they drove along that highway, they would see that brand with different messages, different homes, and they advertise continually. And today that company has been running for 20 years. It's very successful, very well known. So you can do it offline, online, however you want to do it. Advertise continually. Choose your market, define your location, spend the money to advertise to get your name out there. Don't let obscurity kill your building company. The next thing is systems. Now, I'm a big systems guy. When I was in the building companies, I learnt from one of the best building companies, a big building company. Their systems were as good as I've seen in today's market, and this is 20 years ago. Back, we didn't even have PCs then. We were all on terminals and mainframes, but their systems were amazing. So, if you've got really good systems, you want a system for your sales team, you want a CRM, somewhere where all your leads go in. You want to develop the system so that those sales teams know exactly how long it's got to take to get back to a new lead. The big companies will have people just dedicated to calling and setting appointments for anyone who becomes a lead. Whatever that, and they know exactly what to say. It's all scripted. So whatever you do in your sales, you want to have a good system so that people are followed up. People book appointments with the sales team. The sales team know exactly what they can offer and when. They understand your pricing, they understand your plans, they understand all the do's and don'ts of your building company. Everything. They have a system. Prestart. So when someone signs up from sales, before they actually get into construction, you've got a whole lot of work to do. Get government approvals and draw out your plans, get your engineering, do all the stuff that you need to do. But you want to systemize that. You want to have a flow chart of who does what and when, and make it a checklist so that it happens the same every single time. That's how you're going to become successful as a company. That nothing slips through the cracks. There's no unnecessary delays. You know exactly what needs to happen and the order that it's happening in. And you control the process, not the clients. That's a really important one. When you get to construction, obviously, time on site is money. The faster you build, the more profit you put in your pocket. So get yourself a Gantt chart, get yourself call forward sheets, whatever you call them, and make sure that you've got your program programmed out. Because if you've priced a job at, say, $500,000 and you know there's $80,000 profit in there, if you can build that home in 9 months compared to a year and 2 months or something, you're making that $80,000 profit in 9 months instead of 12 or 14 months. And so you're far more profitable, you've got less chance of erosion that's going to eat away at your profits and possibly cause you to collapse. So get your systems in place for your construction. The best builders will also have what's called a point system. So they will track, if they have multiple supervisors, they will track the dollar value of production from each of those supervisors and keep a score and make those supervisors compete against each other to get the best points every single month. It's a good way to keep them motivated and focused, but look at your construction department, make sure that they're sticking to a schedule. Finally, you want a system for handover. Now, this system's often overlooked because by the time you finish building a home and you hand over the keys, you're done, you're hoping the process went well, hopefully you've got a happy client, you hand them the keys, see you later. But you want to do maintenance on the house, you want to also ask them for a reference or a testimonial that you can use for your website. You want to then ask them to give you a recommendation if they know anyone. And also, most people live in the same house for about 6 to 7 years before they change. So you want to keep them on a database of people who have had a good building experience with you so that you can advertise them down the path. Again, a lot of successful construction companies build up a attitude of goodwill with past clients, and so they end up steamrolling. They get new business in here, but then they get repeat business for the clients that they did really well with, and that compounds their growth. So keep that in mind. Think about your systems, advertise continually, choose your marketplace, and you're on your way to becoming a successful building company. I hope that helps. I'm Steve Fitz from Building Boom. You can check us out at buildingboom.com.au. If you need someone who understands your business back to front and does digital advertising really well for the new home building industry, contact us. We would love to speak to you and help you out.